I'm Bryce Fegley, Portfolio Manager of the Sextant Global High Income Fund. I've been with Saturna now for 14 years. We launched the Sextant Global High Income Fund in 2012, and I've managed that since its inception. I consider myself a lifelong learner. I've gone through the CFA program, I did the CIPM program. I have an English degree, English literature, from the University of Colorado. Trying to understand a subtext or a context is really important, and I think that's something that you learn when you read a lot. To some extent, it's just sort of trying to take the past and extrapolate into the future. It gives you a variety of perspectives for thinking about how change occurs and which directions it could go. I do a lot of reading nowadays on statistics and probability. I'm doing graduate work in this field. The ability to think probabilistically, to think numerically, is becoming more and more important. I think it's an essential skill, what we call numeracy, to think about the implied assumptions that are in their models or their ways of thinking about the world. I would say there's three main components to my investment philosophy. And the first is an idea of mean reversion, or sometimes it's called regression to the mean. It's the idea that you have a value of some asset, and you can imagine it sort of floating through space, plodding along. But there's a price associated with that value too, and they're not always the same. So from time to time, I think opportunities appear in the markets to take advantage of prices that seem far away from intrinsic value. I think of there being like this elastic, and the farther you stretch it, the stronger the pull back towards the center value gets. So number two is, I like really long time horizons. When I'm talking 3 to 5 plus years, I'd rather just go far out into the future where people are not trying to pay attention to and look for opportunities for mean reversion. The other thing that's really important about it, and this is number 3, is communication. If you're going to invest with a long-term time horizon, you have to take investors along for that ride, and they have to be willing to come with you. And it's very important to be able to communicate why you think your strategy is going to be successful, helping them to understand the process and the philosophy, and why it is important to stay the course for a long-term investment holding period is really, really important. So I have 2 boys, age 8 and 1.5. Raising children is a fundamental thing that we do with our lives, and when you contemplate doing that, you have to think about yourself as having a very, very long time horizon, basically the rest of your life. That's part of what it is to be a human, is to nurture things for a long period of time, to think about how they're evolving and what path is going to provide the most opportunity.